Welcome back to another edition of the Coaches Show here on SportsNetUSA.net. I'm Richie Mendoza here with my partner Avery Jordan. Fullerton College Hornets football team coming off a huge win last week against College of the Canyons, 42-28. Let's get right into some interviews. I'm here with the head coach of the Fullerton College Hornets football team, Coach Burns. Coach, you got a really tough game coming up this weekend in Mount Sac. They're 3-0, you're 3-0. What's your preparation for this game looking like?
You know, that's a great football program. They've been one of the top programs in the state year in, year out. And, you know, we love this challenge. I think that our kids are going to be excited just like last year. They're going to be fired up, ready to play. That program's going to come in ready to play. It's going to be a great football game. I mean, anybody who goes to that's going to be in for a treat. I think you're going to see a great football game, kids playing as hard as they can. And it's probably going to come down to who turns the ball over more. And that's probably where we'll be at the end of the day.
Your your team had 4 sacks this weekend against College of the Canyons, 3 fumbles. 4 fumbles this weekend against against College of the Canyons, and 3 fumbles against Cerritos. Is there something you've been working on in practice to prevent those?
No, we always do strip drill and that type of stuff, and our kids know it. I mean, our defense is based on getting the football out and getting turnovers. I mean, if we're doing that and our offense is scoring, we're in pretty good shape. If we're not getting turnovers, we're going to struggle.
Coach, your rushing offense had the most yards it's had so far this season against College of the Canyons. What do you attribute that to?
You know, I think Gerald's finally hitting his stride. I think he's a little banged up early in the year, and he's our number 1 back right now, and he started getting going a little bit. Plus, some other guys are starting to contribute, and, you know, those guys contribute. We're going to be a pretty good football team. That's the one area we've been a little weak leading up into this last week was running the football, and I feel like that part of our game really could get going. We have some kids that just saw 1 or 2 reps that we think will be really good football players. They played down in scout team today, and they look great, you know, so it's just a matter of time of getting them all going.
Your quarterbacks have a 65% completion percentage. How much of that you attribute to your offensive line?
You know, the offensive line's done a very good job this year so far, but they have their work cut out for them this week. This will be the best defensive line they face all year. There's no doubt about that. Mount Sac has the best defensive line in the state, I believe. I think we're close to them, but I think they're still, watching film, they're a really good football team, and if they can handle them, then we'll see where our passing percentage is this game.
This game will be a good test for your young team. Thanks for joining me, Coach.
Thank you.
I'm here with Coach Max Silver, linebacker coach for the Hornets. Coach Silver, you're coming off that victory this past week against College of the Canyons. You guys got to the quarterback about 3 or 4 times, but this next week is definitely about to be a challenge going up against Mount Sac. What are your plans?
Right now our plans are just be as most physical as we can. This is a huge week. Their linemen are huge. I mean, averaging around 6'3", 350. So they're big guys, so we got to be coming out physical and coming out strong and coming out ready.
Now, their offense is pretty potent. They're 3-0 right now. They've been putting up a lot of points on the board, but you guys have as well. But what do you have specifically that you guys can hone in on to slow their offense down?
One thing that we've been looking at is mainly the level of competition that they've been playing. Mm-hmm. They haven't really played a team like us, and we haven't really played a team like them. So it's going to be a good challenge to see what both teams can do. I mean, it's the number 1 and number 5 teams in the nation right now going at it. So we got a tough defense. They got a tough offense. So like I said, it's just going to be one of those physical games that we have to come out and play.
Do you think this is the real first challenge that you guys are about to run into this season?
No, I wouldn't say it's the first challenge. You know, every week is a challenge in itself, just playing it day in and day out, but game by game. But as of now, competition-wise, this would be our top challenge that we've had this season just because of, you know, they're 3-0, we're 3-0, they're top 5 in the nation, we're top 5 in the nation right now. So it's going to be a tough one, but it's going to be a good game.
Can you talk about some of your linebackers that you expect to come up big for you guys in this next game? Because this is really a huge game.
Yeah, a huge game is going to be coming from Cody Darrow. Mm-hmm. We just penciled him as one of the starters this week, number 49. He had a huge game with that interception last week, so we feel that he's really prepared. He's prepared himself, and he's preparing really well for this week, and he's going to have a great game.
All right, Coach Silver, thanks for the time.
Thank you very much.
All right, I'm here with wide receiver Coach Griffin for the Fullerton College Hornets and with the whole cast of wide receivers here. Coach Griffin, you guys are coming off a 42-28 victory over College of the Canyons, and you guys put up 325 yards in the air. Big part of that. Marcus Grossman over here and Robert Johnson. Can you talk about what you're going to look for in this next game? Because Mount Sac's really good at stopping the run and the pass.
Well, I don't really look for them to stop nothing around here, honestly. I tell my boys every week, when we come, we come. Like I tell them every week, we the best receiving corps in America. So it's just a game for us. Like I told them, no drops this week. As long as we do our job, everything going to work out.
Now, last game, the third down efficiency was a little down the last game. You guys were 5 for 15. Any ideas to why and how to remedy that going into the next game?
College of King was a great program. They fought. We had a couple injuries after the game. It was, they came out to play, man. They're a great program, and they do a great job at coaching and stuff like that. And so, it was just a great game, man. And so we came out on top, and that's all that matters. We came out on top.
You guys ran a lot of hurry up, or more hurry up than you did in the other games that you played, the other three, or the other two. I'm sorry. Did you like the execution of that? And can you tell me the reasoning behind why you guys decided that game to use it?
Honestly, our job is to go fast. That's our slogan: all gas, no brakes. And so we were just trying to pick up the pace, get everything going. Got a bunch of young guys that play. Hell, Simp was his first game of the year. Downs made a catch. All my guys contribute into playing great football, and that's all I tell them to come out and do, just to play great football and catch the ball and make plays. And that's what we did Saturday. This Saturday we're going to pick it up even more. That's the whole job. Just go fast, go fast, go fast. They're going to break. That's our job, is to make them break. So we'll be all right.
Now, you played, and you've played everywhere. I mean, you've lived dreams that most grown men still haven't fulfilled in their life, in their football career. What's it like coaching such a diverse group of guys here?
Well, it's pretty awesome if you ask me, because I always tell them, like, I wish I could go out here, and I go out there with them, and they young, they got all the injuries, so it's over with. Like I told them, my knees is bad, but I'll lock you down back in the day. But it's pretty fun to go. They understand the game, because I teach them the game as if I was playing against them. So that's the key part of my coaching with these guys, is letting them know what I would do out there on the field, so they can understand what's coming. So when it comes, we already had this communication during the week.
Right.
Yep.
All right, now Marcus, you had 6 catches in the last game. Actually, you know what? You had 5 touchdowns last season, and now you already have 3. 21 receptions this season. You had 40 last year. You're doing a lot better already. You're on pace for setting some great numbers for yourself. What have you done to just improve yourself in the offseason to now?
I've been working with Coach Griff. He taught me a lot, and I think I just got used to the speed a little bit. My freshman year, my head was kind of spinning. Even though I did gray shirt and have a year off and got to practice, there's nothing like the real game, and I got a season under my belt. And I worked really hard over the offseason with my speed, my hands, and everything. So I just became a better overall player coming into the season.
Now, I watched the game last week against College of the Canyons, and, well, to me, you mossed a guy. But to everybody else, you Odell'd them if they're younger. So can you explain that play to me and what was just going through your mind and how you felt?
Yeah, at first, when I ran the route and I saw the ball in the air, I thought it was overthrown. So I was mad in my head, like, damn, I got overthrown again. I was running, and then I got to it, and the only way I was going to catch it was with one hand. And I've been practicing on the juke machine one hand all off season, so it's just for situations like that. So when I made the play, it didn't really surprise me, because I make plays like that all the time in practice and stuff. So it just felt good to give the team back momentum with a great play. So
Key thing about that is, all these guys, I done seen it at practice. What he did against Santa Ana, I done seen it at practice. He done it 4 or 5 times. He done made a one-hand catch. He done made one. Oh, we work at this stuff, just for people to know. We work at everything we do. I don't tell them don't do it. I say go do it, and in the game, it's going to be natural to you. And that was a natural reaction to him. I done seen that 1,000 times.
Out of here one day.
Do you have anyone that you look up to on this team as like a mentor or big brother kind of person?
Yeah, my guy, Jordan Huffman right here. We share a locker right next to each other. We talk about life all the time, talk about football, and we even go in the ice bath together.
Ice bath? All right, thanks, you guys.
Hi, I'm here with Robert Downs III, wide receiver for Fullerton College Hornets. Robert, you went to Valley Christian High School. What's it like playing up here at the community college level as opposed to high school?
It's a different pace. I mean, we're moving a lot faster. Guys are bigger, better, stronger than the high school level. It's a lot to memorize, but, I mean, just keep working at it and it'll come to ease.
What's it like playing on this Fullerton College Hornets wide receiver team?
It's great. We have a great social aspect within the wide receiving core, and we have a bunch of guys from all over. So it's really nice to see like how guys from the East Coast are adapting to the West Coast, and how their different playing styles from high school are incorporated here. So I mean, it's really nice. It's a whole lot of different stuff that like you don't really get to see in the high school level.
All right, so you got 88 yards so far this season, 1 touchdown. You're looking forward to getting a lot more of those?
Yeah, I mean, this is just the start, the first 3 games. I mean, as a freshman, I'm going to ease into it a little bit more as the season goes on, so it's not something I'm too worried about.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what's it like to be a freshman coming right onto this team, championship team?
Yeah, I mean, I gray shirted last year, so it took me a little bit of time to get up to speed coming from high school. And just, I mean, with time, with working out off the clock and doing things that people aren't really seeing, I'm getting better as a football player and bringing it into the program. So, I mean, I'm not making a huge difference right now, but just doing my job as a player and my position does a whole lot for the team as a whole.
All right, what's it like for having Kane Wilson and Ladarius Skelton throw to you?
It's really nice. I mean, having 2 different guys who bring 2 different things to the game. I'm just really worried about my spot and what I'm doing in my position. Not really too worried about what's going on in the quarterback situation.
All right, and one last question. You guys as a wide receivers, as a whole, do a really good job blocking. Is that something you guys worked on specifically in practice?
Yeah, we do like crazy. Coach Griff is serious about blocking. I mean, it's more to being a wide receiver than just catching the ball, and that's sometimes blocking for our other wide receivers coming across for a screen or even a running back who makes a big play. It's not just all about us, it's about the team in general.
All right, thank you. I'm here with Cody Darrow, middle linebacker for Fullerton College. Cody, you guys have, so far as a team, you linebackers don't have any stats. You guys looking to change that going forward into this next game?
Yeah, we've been really working hard on it lately, pass rush moves and stuff. We're in the right spot. We just need to make the plays and get going and get it to the quarterback.
All right, you guys have only given up 87 rushing yards total, I believe. That's a really good job.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting to the ball good. A lot of it's scheme. I mean, the coaches are putting us in the right spot, and we're just doing the right things. And it should be less than that. We should be making the plays and stuff. So.
You have 1 interception, almost 2. Tell me about that first one that you returned.
Yeah, it felt good. I was in man coverage on the running back, and I just read the screen, and I got lucky, and I caught the ball. I should have taken it to the house, but I got tackled. But the second one, I should have had that one too. So I should have 2. So it was all right.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Hello and welcome back to Ryan's Reflections right here on SportsNetUSA.net. My name is Ryan Osborne. Fullerton College once again with that victory, 42-28, like Richie and Avery mentioned just moments ago. Fullerton College, they go up to 3-0 on the season, but you also have to look at other sports around the Fullerton College athletic program. We go from the field right here to the court. We're here at Colleen Riley Court, where Fullerton College volleyball has already started their season. They are currently 3-5 as they go up into their matchup against Santa Ana on Friday night. Fullerton College, well, you take a look at the historical aspect. We'll go back to 2013. You see that Fullerton College was coming off a successful run. They get into the first round of the playoffs, just not able to get into the second round. They turn the year. They have a ton of freshmen in 2012 who all turned into sophomores in 2013. That's all of a sudden when you saw that 2013 team have 5 different players who had over 150 kills on the season and over 80 digs, including at the time freshmen Alex Winfield and Brianna Cervantes. You look at the team, they go on a 10-game win streak to start off the season, including wins over Cerritos and Citrus. 10 straight wins, that would end up being a 17-16 year for the Fullerton College Hornets, which they translate into a win in the first round over none other than defending state champion L.A. Pierce. That's right, Fullerton College right here on Colleen Riley Court, they were able to get the upset in 2013. They ended up dropping their next match in the second round or in the third round and just weren't able to get past that. However, you turn over to 2014. Once again, it's Cervantes, you have Winfield, and then you also have Alexa Fairfield who joined them. The historical aspect plays in once more. They're able to get into the second round of the playoffs. Unfortunately, their season ends. We're currently being joined by the head coach of Fullerton College Volleyball, Coach Jason Dillard. Coach Dillard, looking back at your team's 10-0 start in 2013 when you were here, what was the key to their success to come out so quickly?
Well, I think, recruiting classes are important. And the year before, too, we had a bunch of sophomores that were returning, and we had a good group of freshmen in 13. And they melded really well together and came out and did a great job and had a great preseason. It's always nice to get off to a good start like that.
When you look at the end of that season, you guys beat the defending national or defending state champions in LA Pierce. What was the feeling like after that match?
Well, I mean, I remember the match. I remember it being here, and I remember it being very close. And they were a very good team. And I remember being really excited and proud of the girls because I felt like, obviously, you walk into a match, you feel like you have a chance to win. But they were a very good team, and like you said, they're defending champions. So it was a huge win for the program. And I know it's something the girls will always remember.
So you turn it over to 2014 and 15. Both times you get into the second round of the playoffs, just not able to get over that hump. Then last year, not quite where you would have liked to be.
No, not at all. Last year was tough. A couple injuries, some other eligibility issues to start the year. To be honest, though, I was really proud of the girls. They came to work every single day and, worked to get better. To then become sophomores and have a chance to play alongside with some freshmen and change their fortunes. So that's what we're trying to do now. It's tough, coming off a rough season, so that we have a little bit of that residual feeling, and we got to shake some of that loose, starting hopefully tomorrow.
You talk about tomorrow. You guys go up against Santa Ana. How do you prepare for a match like that?
I mean, you're really just hoping that you compete. That's what we're trying to teach right now, is just competing hard for the sake of all the work that you're putting in, and just doing the best you can, and then you live with the results. Disappointed with our effort last night. Cypress is a good team, but I just didn't feel like the competitiveness was there, and we're trying to develop that. That's not always an easy thing to do, but we're going to give it the best shot that we can, and we'll keep working on, the X's and O's and things like that, but really we just want to compete and have a good effort tomorrow night.
Earlier you spoke about having freshmen and sophomores having to gel together. How do you give them that cohesiveness?
Well, you put them together. They spend a lot of time together during the summer. We were talking about it last night. We're 3-4 months in now, with the amount of time that they've been together. And so, they should be gelling at this point. We had an overnight trip to Santa Barbara where, they get to be together as a team in an overnight situation. And usually those things are helpful. And, but really what we're trying to do is just be good on the court and rally around trying to win points, So if we're best buddies or we're not best buddies, it is what it is. But we're trying to go out there and win a college volleyball game.
You talk about entering OEC play, one of the toughest conferences in the entire nation, many consider.
Sure.
How do you prepare for that?
Well, you just are honest with them. You tell them every night that you go out, you're going to be playing against the best that Southern California has to offer. And there's not a weak team in the conference. And, that's, it's important to bring your A game every night. I know it's kind of cliche, you try to do that, but you really have to. Because if you are asleep at the wheel, and show up and expect things to be easy, they're certainly not going to be. And again, trying to turn around, from a season ago, for those sophomores, a sense of urgency needs to be there, and the freshmen need to feel that as well.
A couple years back, you had Alexa Fairfield as one of the main liberos for your team. How do you continue that libero success moving on?
Well, we've had a lot of good athletes recruited to come here in the libero position, and last year Tori did a very good job for us. Maya competed hard with her and got opportunities throughout the year. Maya's doing a very good job for us now. Priscilla Gutierrez and Carly Ortega are very capable as well, so they're pushing her, as a sophomore. You just keep recruiting, and there's a lot of good volleyball players out there, especially in that position, that aren't getting the college opportunities at Division I, II, NAIA, Division III. So there's some very good defensive players, and you see that throughout this level of volleyball.
When you talk about having different players push each other, how do you pencil in the starter when all three girls have been competing in practice?
Yeah, ideally you want it to be pretty clear, who your starter is going to be, and have that competition in practice. And then, whoever's doing the best in all the facets of the game. So let's say it's outside hitter. How's your passing? How's your defense? How's your blocking? And how's your hitting? And whoever's doing the best at all those is going to get one of those outside spots. And you just hope that they're battling and pushing each other, so that they know how to compete in practice, and they're competing against each other. So when it comes to competing against somebody else on the other side, we've already kind of done that. We've competed and we know how to do that. That's what we're working on right now. So hopefully we get there.
Thank you, Coach.
You got it. No problem.
So right now we're being joined by Maya Maldonado. Maya, second year as a Hornet, what does that feel for you?
I'm extremely proud to be a part of this program and team. It's a big deal to me to come in as a libero and end up being a captain for Jason's team.
You guys play in the Orange Empire Conference, which many consider to be the toughest conference in the entire nation. How is it like going up against tough competition like that?
It's exciting. It's thrilling to get to go and compete with girls at a higher level, because you get to figure out who you are and who you're going to compete with. It's just a big deal to get to play with girls at that level.
When you look at your schedule, you have Santa Ana coming up. How do you prepare for a rivalry match like that?
Oh, man, we want to beat Santa Ana really bad. We think about our teamwork and all the work that we put in throughout the summer and just all the reps that we've got all together, and we're just hoping that it pays off afterwards.
Really hot start to start off the season, a little bit of a skid lately. How do you guys get out of that?
Oh, with teamwork. Jason is a great coach, and he's going to help us get out of this rut. Basically, we're just going to come together as a team and work our hardest, and hopefully it pays off.
You talk about Coach Dillard. What's his best quality?
He cares. I haven't met a coach who cares as much as Coach Jason does. He really does genuinely care about all the girls.
Thank you very much, Maya.
Thank you.
For Fullerton College, they had an all-OEC player and an all-state player in Alex Winfield, who led the OEC in kills, led the OEC in digs, and she was an absolute workhorse for the Fullerton College Hornet. For the Fullerton College Hornets, Alex Winfield was number 1 in kills, number 1 in digs, and second in assists. But again, Fullerton College just can't get past the first round as they beat Victor Valley in their first match and drop it to Cypress in their second match. They get bounced out of the playoffs. 2016, a little bit of a hiccup for Fullerton College as they go up and they aren't able to post a winning record. That was the first time in over 6 years that they hadn't posted an over 500 record for the Fullerton College Hornets. This year, they're trying to get back on track. Fullerton College right now sitting at 3-5 after a most recent loss to Cypress the other night on Wednesday. They had 3 straight wins to start off the season. They were 3-1 to start off, and then all of a sudden a 4-match losing streak now has them at 3-5, as they're going to go up against Santa Ana on Friday, September the 22nd. Once again, this has been Ryan's Reflections. I am Ryan Osborne. Let's get back out to the field with Avery and Richie.
Thanks, Ryan. Fullerton College, Richie, coming off that 42-28 victory against College of the Canyons this past week. They put the Cougars back in the Cougar cage.
Yes, they did, Avery. That was a great game by the Hornets. They gave up a little too many passing yards for my preference, but they did a good job outscoring them, keeping their points up, and then not letting them catch up in the end.
Ball security was or is still a big issue that the Hornets are dealing with going into this weekend's matchup against Mount Sac. Both these two teams are top 10 teams ranked in any poll you want to look at. This is definitely going to be a huge challenge for the Hornets.
Yeah, like you mentioned, ball security is going to be huge. They cannot afford these turnovers against a better team. So far, they haven't played a team that's too great yet, but the fumbles will come back to hurt you, especially against better teams.
Both these teams are 3-0. Fullerton's had a little bit of a challenge. Mount Sac really hasn't played that, a big challenge just yet. So this is their real, true first test. But they're terrific at stopping the run. They only allow about 19 points per game. I think Fullerton also has kept their opponents under 30 points as well.
Yeah, both teams not giving up more than 30 points in a single game yet so far this season. So it'll be interesting. I think that whoever scores 30 points first is going to be the winner this weekend.
Fullerton College is a dominant passing team. Overall, they have 1,700 total yards, and right now they have 1,140 in the air. You can bet that Mount Sac is going to game plan to try to stop these Hornet receivers and rush Kane Wilson and Ladarius Skelton into making quick plays and quick decisions and keeping them in short yardage situations.
Which is why the running game is going to have to come alive like it did last week against College of the Canyons. So far, we haven't had too much of a run game, but Gerald Hewlett really stepped it up last week, and we're looking for him to do that again going into this game.
Absolutely. All right, well, that's all we have for this week for this edition of the Coaches Show. Make sure you tune in next week, and on Saturday, make sure you listen to the game or watch it on SportsNetUSA.net.